when people tell me things like, you know, what if you don't make it? Maybe you should get a more secure job. There isn't a more secure job. I could go to college and study to be a doctor, and nothing is guaranteeing me that position. And if I hate the job, it's even less sure.
Welcome to another installment of Jamore Interviews, and I'm your host, Josh, aka Jamore. My guest with me today is an upcoming R&B and pop artist who has an upcoming project coming out October 2nd, The Beautiful Nightmare. He's a dear friend of mine and a very talented artist. Please help me welcome my good friend, Lav.
Hey!
How's it going, bro?
Good, there we go. You made it. I was scared you wouldn't know what to do. I'm kidding.
I'm gonna hurt you, bro. Thank you so much for having me on. This means so much to me. Seriously.
Oh, absolutely. I really wanted to do it. I knew your new project was coming out, so I really wanted to push it out there, play some part into it. But, you know, man, I'm really, really excited. You've done a really good job. Really proud of you, man, for really your dreams coming true, and now it's coming out. And everyone's going to be able to hear it. I mean, the singles, man, god damn, those singles are, like, crazy.
Dude, I really appreciate it. You know what's crazy is when I put the first single out, I had only been doing music for like a month. That was like my first month of music, which is crazy that people resonate with the singles because it's come so far since then. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely. I gotta ask though, like, where did you get the name Lav from? Like, where did that come from? Like, what was the inspiration? Like, I've always wanted to ask you that.
Well, it's not a really creative story, to be honest. And I've never really told people much about this. But my real name, I'm trying to determine if I'm going to give that out. My real name, okay, so it's the initials of my real name. So Lav is my initials. And that's just, nobody knows that. So this is an exclusive here.
Oh, that's so cool. Kind of like my name is just my initials of my name. So
yeah, exactly. It's like everybody thinks my legal name is Lav though, and it's like
what?
I run into so much confusion where it's the LAV, is it Lav, is it like what is it? And it's just Lav.
That's cool. That's really awesome how names come about. Like, I'm really bad at naming stuff. So the name Jamore just came from me and my friends just like playing around and trying to figure out, because my original username is really bad. So we had to change it, and that's what Jamore is just kind of stuck. So it's not who I am now.
Dude, you just got the exclusive on my name though. This is the first time anybody's ever heard that. So congratulations on that one.
Very cool. Wow. But you know, before we get into all the music and the art, you know, I love doing these so I get to know more about the man behind the music and the man behind the art. It's really cool. My first question, well, I already asked my first question, but my first question to you is, growing up, were there any possible signs that hinted towards your career in music?
Absolutely. Yeah. You mind if I tell a little story?
Yeah, nah, that's what this is for, man. Go ahead.
So when I turned 10 years old, it was kind of a rough time in my life. I had just lost my grandfather, which my grandfather was in a band and he played a lot of old rock music. So my grandfather kind of started his career in music similarly to what I'm doing now. And losing him was like kind of a really big thing for me. It really took its toll, and it affected my grades at school, and it affected a lot of things. That summer, my mom took me to go see Never Say Never. It was my first real experience with like the behind the scenes of the music industry, and just being able to see this kid go from, you know, nothing to stardom, and being able to see like his creative process, you know, how much hard work he put into it. It was just like, I remember walking out of the theater that day and I looked at my mom and I said, that's what I'm meant to be doing. Like that's my path. And ever since then, it's just been, every step has been getting me there. So that's where we are.
Wow. It's crazy where people get their inspirations from or where it comes from, because like, I want to do movies and stuff and acting because of the first Transformers movie, the 2007 one. Yeah. all because of Michael Bay's little franchise, man. And it's just really crazy where it comes from. Everybody hates those movies, but you know, that's where my inspiration comes from, the first one. So love it.
Dude, I've got respect for that. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That is
man. Yeah, music is such a great thing. Music is a big part of my life as well. If I could like show my room, it's kind of, I still need to put posters up, but I have tons of posters for like Linkin Park and Metallica and like all these great bands. Like I just love music so much. So whenever I get to talk,
You're a big fan of rock.
yeah, big
Nice.
fan of that.
Nice.
So it's just a big part of me. If I ever do music, I definitely want to do a band. Like that's definitely something I want to do because it's just,
I respect that. Yeah.
yeah.
A lot of-
I got my guitar right there that I need to work on today actually. So that's gonna be fun.
Are you building it?
No, it's fully built and bought. I'm looking at it right now. It's kind of dusty. I gotta clean it. But yeah, I love all forms of music and jazz and R&B and all that. I just love all of it except for country. I do not like it. But
I was watching your Dave Bowe interview, and you were talking about how invested you are in R&B and stuff like that, which I think is cool.
yes, man. Oh my God, yes. I just love all that stuff. From Usher to like all these other greats there. Like I love them all, man. Like I really do.
I feel like you do. Grew up on it too.
Well, yeah, definitely. Like all those great 2000s pop hits from back in the day are just like very influential. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like very influential. More so than today's music. I don't know why. Like I like some of today's music, but it's just like I don't know. You can't beat the classics. You know what I mean?
No, I feel you. Yeah. Of course not. There's always going to be something very raw and very real, and just kind of things have advanced so much in music that it's like, I'm not saying that it's worse now. It's just, it's becoming so easy for people to get lazy, if that makes sense. So like there's a certain level of just genuine hard work in old music that's just untouchable. It's untouchable.
Definitely. I was speaking to Michael Beinhorn, who was a music producer for like Soundgarden and Korn and Red Hot Chili Peppers and all these people. He was just talking about the access of music technology and producing and stuff like that for the public and the masses. And he was talking about how it's kind of made it so that music is less special. And he also said that it sucks that most music nowadays is really bad. Because it's just kind of like people trying to go for that TikTok sound or that
reality.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's not like, oh, let me tell this story and here's this album that I worked hard on. It's just kind of like, oh, here's something that I know people are going to turn up to. And it's just like, I mean, that's cool. I'm not going to fault anybody for it. If that's what you're going for, more power to you. But that's just like not the type of music I resonate to personally. There's
a place for it, but the thing is like the more you get drowned out with that trendy stuff, I feel like it creates a bigger place for the meaningful stuff, if that makes sense. Like when you have so much of the trendy, it starts to create kind of a demand for the meaningful projects, which is cool.
No, definitely. I completely agree. And that can transition into, you know, we talking about all these great artists and music. What do you think makes music such an important and valid art form?
Oh, wow. See, I think about this one a lot. This is something I think about often, especially wanting a career in music, because at the end of the day, when I'm old, I want to be able to look back on my life and think, did I make a difference? Did what I do affect people? And I think it's so important because if you think of any part of your life, whether when you were young, whether it was last week, you connect song to that time in your life. Because once a song comes out, it wasn't there before in your life, but it's there after. So these memories are now attached to that song. So I think the way that we almost scrapbook our life with music is so important. It's almost like, oh, it takes you back to your first prom. It takes you back to when you first learned how to drive, what was playing on the radio. It's almost our way of just keeping track of our mind, I feel like. And it's so important. It's so important. It's like movies in that way.
That is interesting. I've never looked at it like that.
Yeah, it's like a bookmark, you know?
No, definitely. That's a really interesting answer. Never looked at it like that. I've always looked at, I don't know. I just look at it as like we've always used like sounds and noises to communicate. We could go back to like way before any of us were born. Our parents, you know, back, you know, beating on rocks and screaming and all that stuff, and how important that is to tradition and how we come in the world. I just think that music just like amplifies sound in a way, you know, because you know, these amazing producers are creating sound, or these rockers are jamming away the guitar, the bass, or behind the kit, and they're invoking such great emotions with these sounds. I mean, you can't help but to resonate with that. I think that's a real special and powerful thing, specifically with music. There's so many artistic outlets for us creatives out there. You know, we have movies, we have writing, we have drawings, like the great drawings you do, man. God, you kill it with those drawings. Like even the covers, you made those covers, right?
Every one of them.
See, like that shit that's so cool to me. Like it's just awesome. And when I hear people talk about, like, you know, freaking AI art and just all this, it's just like there's something so special about the human mind creating, you know, whether it be writings or drawings or music or movies or anything like that. It's just, there's just something that the human mind creating, it just can't be beat. I don't think you could ever get a robot or whatever, AI or whatever the heck you want to call it, to create something so beautiful.
Dude, I hear a lot of people talk about AI art, like the how scary it is that it's going to take the jobs from people. I think nothing can compare to a human mind, though. Like, no matter how well a computer can create a piece of art, it's like those ideas that are organic are still going to shine through. I think there's no replacing that. So I think people that are worried about that just need to keep focusing on what they're doing and just keep making art, you know?
No, definitely cut through the noise and just ignore all the AI or crypto or whatever the hell people are trying to push nowadays. It's all so, technology is a crazy thing.
It's weird. Yeah. It's so weird. Yeah.
Even speaking to voice actors, just hearing them talk to me about how, like, technology even in the gaming and animation world is changing too, is really cool as well, and how that coincides with what's going on in music or art in general.
It's crazy how readily available things are. Like when I was younger, when I was watching, you know, my favorite artists make albums, I used to always think, wow, that's got to be like something that involves a lot of people, you know, huge budget, stuff like that. And to think I've got a project coming out in a couple days, and it, you know, it was done on pretty much no budget. It's weird how available this technology is now, how just at your fingertips it is. And I think with the right passion, you can make something really beautiful.
Absolutely. You know, you seem so passionate about your career, which is awesome. I love creatives who are really passionate and are doing this for the right reason. And I can tell you're trying to tell a story.
Thank you.
Was there ever a time in your life when you considered doing something else? I mean, like you're saying, you know, you have your drawings and stuff like that, but was there any time you were like, maybe I want to try this out?
Of course. I wanted to do film in middle school. I was all out 3 years studying film. I took a college level course. I met some really amazing people, but I just kind of realized towards the end it wasn't fueling my soul in the way that I would like it to. I absolutely love film. I use it with everything I do now. I'm so thankful for that knowledge. But I just ultimately decided that music is how I, you know, it's like therapy. I can express myself, and really people understand me better when I'm trying to translate my ideas into music than film. So that was my main decision with that. But yeah, film was huge.
That's kind of with me too. My father, God rest his soul, was a producer, and music was something that I was really heavily focused on, but I was doing it for like all the wrong reasons. I was doing it for wrong reasons. And as I've grown older and have come to appreciate art for what it is and what it can do, I feel like I'm now better able to create nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Because like I'm in high school, I'm trying to get people, you know, look my way and do that stuff. And it worked for a second, but it's like it worked for a second. Like true
Mhm.
art, like lasts
Mhm.
for years, generations.
Yep.
Like it could really inspire people to change their life with the way they think or the way they perceive something. It's a really beautiful thing that art is that really should not be underlooked. I feel like sometimes people will be like, when someone's trying to get a career in this, they're like, "Oh, you're not gonna make it. Da, da, da. Don't do this. Get a real job. What's your backup plan?" But it's like when you're so invested in this and so have so much passion and love for the art form,
Mhm.
there is no backup plan. Like this is it. I'm fully invested. Yeah.
There's no, dude. A year ago, I kind of made the decision that this is the outcome. And I was talking to Jackson about this just the other day. I was like, this, there, there's no other job for me. This is what I was born here for. This is what my passion is. This is what I'm made for. So when people tell me things like, you know, what if you don't make it? Maybe you should get a more secure job. There isn't a more secure job. I could go to college and study to be a doctor, and nothing is guaranteeing me that position. And if I hate the job, it's even less sure. So for me, it's just, if this is what I'm so passionate about, I'm going to make it work. I always have. So that's my plan.
Mine too, man. Hell yeah. Let's do this. You have a great range of vocally. I gotta say, man, like I've been really impressed, like hearing each single and what you do. From a
Mhm.
vocal standpoint, I'm very big on vocals with the song. I mean, that's the main thing for a song. So I mean, you have to be. No, of course, man, you do really great, and I'm glad to be able to tell you that. How did you discover your range vocally? Like, were you messing around? Were you like singing with a friend? Were people bigging you up? How
Oh,
that come
man.
about?
How did I discover my range? Oh, wow. My entire life, I've been singing, I've been singing along to Bieber my whole life. And he's always been somebody that's known kind of in the industry as somebody who's vocally really flexible. He's extremely, I don't know the word to use, but he's like pretty sought after for his vocals. And so just,
His
I think
versatility.
his versatility, yeah. I think growing up on that and just studying it, every single note in the car, it was like, I love my parents. My parents are extremely supportive of me. And my parents are believers now because of me, which is one of those things where it's just like, I was studying it for the art of it. I was really picking up on each note and trying to recreate it to where I could sing like that. And that was how I learned how to sing. Just studying artists, Chris Brown, Weeknd, Drake, just studying each note and just translating it into my own work and making my own style out of it. That was what I did. Kanye, everybody. You can hear a little bit of everything in my music.
That's true, man. That's very true. Do you remember your first time performing or recording anything, and how did that go?
First time recording. First time recording, I was with a friend of mine. It was through a bunch of mutual connections. Her name was Grace, and I went over to her house, and she was recording for another local rapper named Trill Jimmy. And basically what happened was we hit it off. They wanted me to feature on one of his songs, and I did a feature, and they were like extremely impressed by, my range at that time, which wasn't great. I was just starting, but it was like they saw the potential in it, and they were like, yeah, let's keep working, let's keep, doing stuff. So I kept coming back. We kept doing sessions, and eventually that turned into Vacation. So that was kind of how that started.
Wow.
Grace produced Vacation, which is something that kind of gets swept under the rug, but I want to talk about that because she did an amazing job, and I'm very proud of that song.
That's an awesome story to have about a song, just bringing it together like that.
Mm-hmm.
We all have our first, and we remember our first very well. That was your first single, right? Vacation?
Yep, it was my first, and it wasn't produced by me. The rest were, but this song was completely made by her, and yeah, it's special to me, Jerry's a special person, and I'm just really proud of that track.
Have you ever thought about like doing anything live, like performing your stuff live or doing stuff like that? Okay.
Oh, absolutely, dude. I can't wait for that part of my career where I can do tour and, travel and do all that fun stuff. But right now it's just kind of focused on cultivating the audience to where I can pop up and people care, That's the...
just staying low and just building up and creating stuff and staying focused on it and just really making your brand and building it is very important, especially as an artist in today's age where there's so many people who are trying to make it and trying to make their own path in this career. You know, it's very important to build who you are as a person and build your reputation and brand to stand out aside everyone, you know?
No doubt. Yeah, absolutely. And my brand is something that, you know, I don't really talk about my brand too much because it's like, it's something I feel like a lot of people don't want in their face, but it's a very real thing for artists. I feel like artists need to create a brand of some kind. Because how many artists do you hear say, you know, I started making music, but nobody cared. Nobody listened. I never made it. Never made money. Music doesn't make money. You have to make money. So your music is almost like an advertisement for, you know, your clothing, CDs, stuff like that. So it's like, I think knowing music business is 2 words and a lot of people only master them. So I think to master the music business, you have to be good at both music. So that's just a crucial thing that a lot of people don't like to talk about.
We're going to get more into that too. Well, now I want to get into the album Beautiful Nightmare, man. That cover, I remember I saw the cover art. Great cover art there. What inspired that? Like, what made you want to pick that out of every other choice you could have went with?
Are you talking about the one with the computer screen and the note cards and stuff?
Yeah.
So that concept I had for a really long time. I had the idea, and I've kind of been marketing with the note cards, which has been like a constant thing for the entire album. And I think I just wanted to depict the chaos inside my mind. And I really wanted to ground the fact that I made this entire thing in my bedroom. So I wanted the album cover to kind of represent that. When you click on the album, it really reflects how it was made, and you can see the process just right in front of you. And that's what makes that album cover so special to me.
Wow, dude, I didn't even look at it like that. That's really cool, and that really amplifies what this means to you, what this project means to you, and the 2-year-long process of making this and finally releasing it. That is so cool. That just blew my mind right there. That's really awesome. I love learning about how these covers or you know how the singles are made, because it's just like you really get to see the artist's true mind and what goes into making a lot of this stuff. I love that shit like that. I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's why I love behind the scenes like documentaries or, you know, the little commentary discs you get. I have a box set for Linkin Park, and they did a 20th anniversary special for their first album, Hybrid Theory, and they have behind the scenes of how it was made and just documentaries and them just talking about the process and talking about what they were before this. Because before Linkin Park, the band's name was Zero, and Chester wasn't a part of the band, and they just talked about how they grinded and made it, and just talking about like riding on one single tour bus and how that like grew into like multiple of them. It's so cool. I love that stuff.
Does it come with like any extra songs on the anniversary, or is it just
It does actually. It comes with like I want to say like 40 demo tracks.
Really?
Yeah, it comes with a lot of them.
See, I feel like a lot of artists have a ton of unreleased music, like with everything.
Yeah. And
I feel like it's a missed opportunity when they don't release it. Like I have plans to release a ton of music for this album long down the road. Like when we hit an anniversary point, you'll be hearing a lot more from Nightmare. So that's cool. It's the gift that keeps giving.
Definitely. And it's just like when I'm watching, I don't know, I just wish artists did that more, because it's like either they release it or it's getting leaked. Like,
yeah. Yeah. No, it's the details, man. It's about the details.
Absolutely. How long has the idea of the Beautiful Nightmare been around for? I know you said you started recording around the end of 2020-ish. But how long has this been in your mind to be like, I want to make this a full-length project?
So 2020 was just a horrible year. It was probably my lowest low in my teenage years. I had just turned 18, and it was around the election, and COVID was going on, and, you know, bad relations. It was just all over the place. Right after that year ended, I had kind of decided that whatever I'm gonna do with my life, I need to start doing it. Because I had big plans, and it was like, if I don't start now, I'll be in my 20s soon. So it's just like, I need to start. So I wanted to make a graduation album that just was like a love letter to my childhood, my teen years, you know, just kind of saying goodbye to my trauma or pain or whatever I was holding on. That way I could go into my 20s, a new person, just restored and just happier. And that was really what stemmed the idea. I just wanted to pull myself out of depression and just create and find some form of purpose, find my voice through that. Because writing really is freeing, and it really has given me a lot more purpose in my life. I couldn't imagine life without music at all.
It's always amazing to hear when people find their passions in life, and that is a beautiful story. I relate to that personally too. You know, 2020 was an interesting year when I started this entire thing. I never for this to last. I only planned for this to be a one and done type of deal, but it's like planned into like this 90+ long thing, and it's just like amazing.
Really impressive, dude. It's so cool. The catalog that you've built up. This is insane. It's awesome.
And I'm so proud of it, and it's just really awesome that people want to speak to me. Say it again?
You should be proud of it, dude. It's insane. I was looking through your interviews just the other day, and I was just amazed. It's incredible.
Thank you, man. It's just I just all blessings, you know, to God, man, that I'm still here to be able to do this, and that I've been allowed to do this, because, you know, people could say no all the time and this and there, but I'm always focused on promoting and pushing and trying again. And I know me and you both relate in that sense, just constantly pushing and promoting and creating, because it's good for our souls, man. It's good for us. I mean, I work at a job right now. I'm not gonna lie, I despise that job. I want to leave every second. I do not like it at all. But
gotta make that bag. Gotta get the bag.
That's true. But like, I hate this job. I'm quitting soon, but it's find something else. But it's like doing this, or like editing, or, you know, decorating my background with all my figures in the back. You know, that just brings me joy. And finding a creative outlet like that, I believe, is very important for not only us as artists who want to make it, but for someone who's just like going through something. And you're so right when you say that writing is just so freeing and cleansing, because I have a journal. I write out my scripts and stuff. You know, it's just so awesome to put those ideas to paper and see it fully fleshed out and bringing your pain or your experience to life. And to give meaning to it. It's just beautiful. And, you know, hats off to you, man, because it's an amazing process.
Thank you so much. That's kind of where that title comes from. I think there's beauty in darkness, and I think there's, you know, something awesome about pain. And it's a weird thing to say that, but it's like there is something beautiful about pain, because you grow from it. You become a better person because of it. So Beautiful Nightmare is just an oxymoronical thing that I just thought was fitting for an album about that. It was just about personal growth and, you know, letting go of love and all these different themes. But it's like, at the end of the day, you're better for it, no matter how bad it sucked.
Definitely. And that's what as I've gotten older, trying to fully appreciate whatever I go through, if that makes sense. Because I'm so used to trying to run away from everything, and whether it be happy or sad, mainly sad, I was just run away from everything and push it down and hide it. And just seeing how that affected my life, it's like I can't do that shit. Like I gotta, because it's just like I'm a mess. My head hurts. I'm always grumpy. It's always this, that, and the third. And that's why I just love the path that I'm on, and I love art, and I applaud any artist such as yourself who, like us, we have to do so much. We don't have a label behind us. We don't have like big brands. It's just us, our minds, and the technology in front of us. It's a beautiful thing that we can create in our rooms. It's really beautiful.
Very nicely said. I agree with that.
Yeah. So the singles, right? You know, there's I'm Not Okay, In My Eyes, Drowning, Call Girl. How did you pick those singles, and why did you? Like, what goes into picking what you want to release musically? Like, how do you, let me try to rephrase this, I'm fucking up. How do you pick what you want the audience to listen to first?
That's a good question because when it comes down to singles, I don't know if you noticed, but there's a little bit of a correlation to the story in them. In Your Eyes, the main theme of the chorus is, I finally learned how to fly when I looked in your eyes, which that is kind of the precursor to the overall story. And something that a lot of people didn't connect the dots on, I feel like, was we kick off learning to fly and then we're drowning. And some people notice there's a track called Icarus on the album, which, if you're aware of the story of Icarus, you know, he built the wings and flew too close to the sun, you know. So that was kind of the reasoning behind why In Your Eyes came out.
What the fuck? That is so cool.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that, dude. What the hell? That is so cool. Oh my god, dude.
It's kind of like the rise and then the climactic fall with Drowning. And then Out of Touch references Drowning as well. I'm Not Okay references other songs on the album.
Holy shit.
It's the story of Icarus, man. 100%.
Wow. That's awesome how you come up with all this stuff. And I just, you know, your music deserves to, a lot of people deserve to hear it because it's just so intelligent. It's so smart. I guess the best way to explain it is very intelligent. Like that thought process blew my mind. Like, what, like, are y'all hearing this now? Like, what? Like, that is so cool to me. That is so badass. Like, just how you came up with that. Oh my god, that is so cool, dude.
That's why. And like, there's a ton of little nuances with the album that I'd love to talk about. But like, there's certain things I want people to figure out, but just know it's there. Like, there's depth to this. There's reasons for everything. There's reasons why TASM was at the end of In Your Eyes. Like, when you listen to the album, that's gonna make more sense. There's reasons why I use certain effects and certain lyrics in certain places, and things that seem random aren't. So that's like the coolest thing about this album, is that there's like levels to it. And I'm glad you brought that up, because it's just, I wanted to talk about that. It's something I didn't want unnoticed. Yeah.
I love this. Yo, man. You know, you have a great product with you, and for people to know more about that product, of course, we spoke about this a little bit earlier, but you have to promote it and push it out there. In this day of the social media age, there's always a new platform. There's always something to put your stuff on so it could get out there and more people could see it. And I'm just curious, how do you handle the pressures of self-advertising, and what would be your advice to other creators such as myself to handle that? Because there's definitely is a pressure to get consistent and consistently post and consistently push and promote this product. But like, man, we have mental health, man. Like, this is draining, it's taxing, it's a lot of things, man.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of pressure to get it done. So how do you handle it?
How do I handle, like, when you say pressure, do you mean like to keep up with uploads, to keep up with posts, or do you mean like just mentally?
We can go both, man. Like, keep up with like consistently posting and making sure you're on top of the trends and stuff like that.
Dude, I hate promoting. Because like you mentioned with my music, it's one of those things where I'd love for it to just go out and then it finds a fan base. But the problem is that's not how the world works, and you have to kind of be on top of it. What I like to do is I like to connect with my audience, and I like to engage with my audience. I'm a big fan of like getting to know them and their projects. Like, I keep up with everybody on Instagram. There's not a person that follows me that I have no idea what they're doing. Because I love to support everybody. Like, I could give shout outs all day, but there's just a ton of people that I just adore on this app. And that's why I don't really let the monotony of posting all the time and all that get to me, because I try to focus on like community and just creating with all these fellow people that I love. I think the best thing that you can do, honestly, for your morale is to just realize that if this is your job and this is your passion, you just do it. It comes naturally when you realize it's not an inconvenience. It's just something that'll help you, you know?
One thing Steve Bloom talked to me about is a group. If you guys don't know who that is, massive voice actor, really talented actor, was talking to me off the air, and we were just having a conversation about this, and he was like, we don't have to do this, we get to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much other stuff we could be doing, but we get to create and make art whenever we can and push it out there for people to listen to and consume and watch and consume, and we get to do it. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful thing to be able to do the thing that we hope to achieve at a massive level one day, that we are going to achieve. We're going to make it, man. We're going to do it. We're going to do the thing. And it's just, we get to do this amazing thing. So maybe that'll help someone change their perspective on it.
And it's I see a lot of bitter people online, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's almost like I see people treating this app as like, oh, you know, I hate it here, can't stand it, you know, the algorithm sucks. And it's like, yeah, but at the same time, we choose to do that. You know, we wake up every day. It's like complaining about it really isn't going to do anything. This app is always going to be not in our favor. And I think probably the hardest thing about posting, which is something that is hard on a lot of smaller creators, is putting something out, not having a big enough audience to know if it'll grip, and then feeling embarrassed later because you're like, man, I said drop some comments on that and nobody dropped comments on that, so I feel embarrassed that like everybody flood to that and be like, oh, he's like. But I kind of just learned it's not about the numbers, it's not about how many likes something gets, it's not about the comments, it's about getting that DM that night where someone says, hey, I listened to your song, I added it to my playlist, you really helped me through blah blah blah. That's what matters, not the like number. So it's just, I've learned to just be okay with low numbers. I know Instagram sucks.
All these social media platforms suck, you know what I'm saying? Like, one thing that people I wish understood more was that, like, this thing that we're doing, like self-advertising, costs money. Like, if you really want to get your name out there and really want to push, it's going to cost you. But it's a worthy investment, in my opinion. If you have something great, if you have the talent and you're confident and you believe in yourself, go ahead and invest in promoting. I have freaking 100 business cards right now. I have, for whoever wants them, and it has my contact info. It has everything on there because I wanted to invest in something where someone's like, oh, this is him, da, da, da. This is how many people spoken to. Flip it over, boom, this is him. And that's another version of advertising. And it's no different from posting or posting a reel or boosting a post, because Instagram allows you to boost a post. I mean, you got to pay for it. But it's just another version of self-advertising. You know what I'm saying? It's interesting.
Do you hand out your business card a lot? Like, do you give them out to a lot of people?
I don't go out the house much. So, I mean, like, if I go to a convention, then yes, I'll do it. Or if a friend, I'll be like, hey, here's my YouTube thing. Check it out. Sometimes they're like, oh, shit, okay. And I give it to them. Yeah, I'm trying to get some business cards now. I just made friends with somebody at a print shop. So I'm thinking about made soon because they are very valuable. I agree with you. They're very important to have a business card. No, definitely. I got to get a stand to put one on and put it in the background so people can look at it if they want.
You need like a poster hanging or like a banner behind you.
I do, bro. Oh my gosh. We're moving out soon. So when I move, I'm going to definitely buy more stuff. Like, I want more posters. I'm definitely going to buy like a Slipknot poster and like probably make my own banner and then put it across the wall. I'm pointing at nothing right now. You can't see, but there's nothing on my wall right there. It's just like a big empty space. I was thinking about putting a banner of some sort there.
Do it. That'll look sick.
It's gonna definitely be awesome.
Yeah, dude, your setup is so cool. Just figures in the background and everything. That's sick.
I mean, listen, it's nothing to it, but yeah, like.
Back there, I see some Transformers. Let's go.
Mainly Transformers. I have so many figures, dude. I just bought a dresser to put my clothes in, and on top of that I have my Hot Toys Darth Maul figure, which looks great. And then I have a Jetfire, Blitzwing, Optimus Prime, Venom. It's just a bunch of shit, dude. I have to find where to put all this stuff.
The Dream Club.
Yeah. Do you collect anything? Okay.
That's like my like a lot of people don't know that, but yeah, I'm a huge nerd. A lot of people that followed me from Live Arts know that, but the more recent people don't. So yeah, I collect. I've got Marvel Legends. I've got I used to, back in the day, I used to do a lot of custom stuff. So I painted and did custom heads, and there was a few people like Amazing Webheads and Jeremy, who I did some custom stuff. Yeah, those days are kind of behind me, but I still enjoy the hell out of it.
So if I was to say, hey bro, can you paint me this clone trooper head, would you do it?
Yeah.
Different? Anyways, that's crazy. That's so cool. I didn't know you did that.
Well,
you know,
so...
this project is... Say that again?
So music has kind of made it to where those hobbies have kind of fallen on the wayside, but yeah, I do that a little bit.
So it's safe to say you want your music more out there than like your drawings and stuff.
Yeah, my drawings were... I've always been drawing since I was like 2 months old. I've been drawing. My mom had this like magnetic drawing board thing that I used to draw on when I was really young, and I've just been obsessed with art ever since. And drawing Spider-Man was kind of like a coping mechanism from, like 6th grade all the way to the end of high school. And I found out like halfway through that, hey, I can build a following on Instagram doing this. And that just kind of became a thing. Met some great people, and they carried over into my music following. So yeah, I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for that part of my life. But I still draw too.
Obviously, you still draw. You got to make these awesome covers, dude. Like, what the heck?
It's all... I look at my life as like stepping stones. Like every little skill that I acquired, whether it was everlasting or not, it put me where I need to be now to do these things like music videos, covers, stuff like that. It's giving me the knowledge to efficiently do what I need to do with music.
What has this album done for you?
Made me severely realize how lucky I am and how thankful I am for the people around me. How blessed I am to have a family that supports me. It's really, this amount of pressure that I've put on myself for the past year or so has been unparalleled to anything I've ever done in my life. It's been one of the toughest things I've ever done in my life, and I'll always look at this album as proof that I can do something impossible. Because 2 years ago, I had no idea I could do this. So this will always be a thing for me that I look at. Always. This will always be a big moment for me.
Awesome, man. What do you want this album to do for other people? Or what do you want them to learn and gain from this album?
Ultimately, I just want people to feel heard. I want anybody that's suffering from, abusive relationships or anything at all, I want them to feel recognized. They're not alone. Because for many years, I felt like I was capable of achieve. So I want this album to be for people what this album was for me, which is just a voice in some way.
I can tell that by the lyrics and the amount of work you put into this. I know this was a very important outlet for you, and now it could be a very important outlet for a lot of people to just hear it. And I really hope it does well, man. It's gonna do well. I'm very excited to see what it does.
Much. I appreciate that.
Absolutely, man. Of course, gotta support. Who are some inspirations, both personally and musically, for A Beautiful Nightmare?
I'm gonna start with musically. I've mentioned a few people, but just to get into some lesser known people that inspire me, I'm a big fan of T-Pain. I think that man is brilliant. I think he's so awesome. I love T-Pain. More recently, I've become a big Kanye West. I've like within 2021, I did a deep dive into his whole discography and became like a massive Kanye fan. And now I'm super annoying about it with everybody. Bieber is obviously at the forefront. Obviously, and there's a lot of hip hop influence as well. Gambino really inspires me. Kendrick inspires me a lot. Drake. So many people. I pull so much inspiration from so many people. And more lately, Bruno Mars was a big thing for some of my newer music. So yeah, I pull it from everybody. There's like not a person that I don't pull inspiration from. I'm like a sponge, absorb everything from every artist.
What are your favorite tracks off the album?
Off Nightmare.
Yeah.
Dude, they're all. It's like picking a favorite kid. This is like a favorite child.
Now you know how I felt when you asked me to pick my favorite interview. It's like I can't really.
Yeah.
I can say my least favorite, but I can't tell you my favorite.
Okay, I have a favorite song on the album. I have two favorite songs. Fake Friends is probably the most meaningful to me, and it always. And I think people will know why when they hear it. It's definitely different than the rest, but Fake Friends is probably the most meaningful. And then there's another track called Because I Love You that means everything. And they're both pretty emotionally heavy. So yeah, those are probably my two top picks for the album. And I'm excited to see what you think.
What's next for you, man? You sounds like you have a beautiful future ahead of you. You're creating away. You're making so much. You got reels. I'm sure there's more music videos probably coming down the pipeline. And you have other stuff planned. What's next for you after this?
Here's another exclusive for you. The album is part 1 of 3. So there will be 3 parts to the story. So there's going to be 3 albums coming out in the course of the next years. And I'm just excited. I'm excited to tell this story. And I'm excited to see where this goes. So when you listen to Nightmare, just know it's not the end. This isn't the end at all. I'm excited. I'm so stoked. And also, I kind of would love to get back into my film roots a little bit and just start, writing and getting back into that a little bit.
We can hear we're going to expect a live song in a movie soon. I need that. Yeah. Well, now I want to transition to the fun part of my interviews. It's called Weird and Wacky. You have 1 minute to answer a series of weird and random questions.
Okay.
I've lost count of the records, so you're just going to go as far as you can. The current championship title holder, though, is David Boat with a record of 16 questions answered. Do you think you could beat him?
Hell yeah.
Oh, God. Let me get my timer.
All right.
Dang. I'm always losing something. Drives me insane. Okay. This phone's about to die. That's crazy.
Wait, you said 16 questions in 1 minute?
Yes.
Okay, so you're just gonna rapid fire?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
All right. Let's start the timer in 3.
Okay.
2. 1. Favorite color combo?
Purple and white.
Least favorite movie?
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Would you rather get punched in the face every day for the rest of your life or shot in the foot?
Shot in the foot.
Favorite animal?
Koala.
Favorite cover art?
Oh, bad. That's horrible. Purpose, Bieber.
Go-to dinner meal?
Pizza.
Favorite topping on pizza?
Pineapple, just to piss some people off.
Would you? Or artist you would like to work? Ah, dang.
I did not make it past. I went into that too cocky.
Because
Dude, it was the album cover question. You can't slip me up with that.
I'm sorry.
You can't slip me up with that. That's such a hard freaking question. There's so many album covers, man. I'm a musician.
That's very true.
That was evil, bro.
I'm sorry. I had to do it.
That was damn evil. And I said pizza, just trying to be quick.
But no, you can answer this one real quick. Who's the artist you'd like to work with one day?
Oh,
You can't say
man.
Justin Bieber.
No, I wouldn't say Bieber. I'd probably say I'd like to get in the studio with Charlie Puth. I think that'd be really fun. I think he's got a very interesting way of looking at music, and I think it'd be cool to just learn from him. Yeah, I'd love to be in the studio with. He's cool.
Well, my final question for you today, man.
What was that?
No, keep going. You cut out a little bit. I think our connections are weird, but it's all right. We're making it work.
It's that Florida hurricane stuff.
Yeah, man, you doing all right over there? I gotta ask you that. Are you good?
We surviving. It's all good.
Okay.
It's for the most part, it's over for our area, so we're good.
Okay,
I appreciate
that's good.
that.
I'm just glad you're okay. But my final question to you is, I've had a great time with you, man. That's my final question I like to ask everyone. What is your current message to the world during these current times that we live in? Obviously, there's a lot going on, as you can see, with Florida and just the stuff over in Ukraine. Laws are being changed all the time. There's just like a lot of chaotic noise everywhere you go. What would you say to everyone around the world if you could?
I wish I could say I love you to everybody, because I feel like people need to hear that more. And I feel like that's a big message with my music, is just to let people know that they're heard, and, their pain isn't unnoticed, and that I acknowledge them, because I'm just a very openly loving person, and I care about all people, no matter what walk of life. And yeah, I just wish I could say I love you to more people. That's something I'm working on, becoming more open and just expressing how much I care. So yeah, I'd definitely say that.
Thank you, man. Lab, this has been great. I'm so glad I got to bring you on, man. I'm very proud of you. I can't wait to hear this full project. October 2nd, dude. We're going to be in there. I'm very excited.
Thank you so much for having me, dude. I really appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. I really wanted to do this with you. Is there anything you want to plug or promote, or one little final thing you want to say to the audience?
Yeah, man. I really want to say thank you to everybody that's supported me, yourself included. I want to say thank you to, a few specific people, if that's okay. I want to say thank you to, Tony Baloney, who has mastered everything on this project. And Tony is kind of the reason that I stuck through it, because I've seen a lot of tape and I've seen a lot of struggles. So I want to say thank you to Tony. I want to say thank you to you and Jackson and everybody involved that has really helped me out. I want to say thank you to my good friend Jeremy, who has been since Vacation came out. Jeremy, I love you. Just everybody there's so many people that I could personally that I just can't go over, but I will to everybody eventually. So just thank you. That's all I want to say. No plugging, just thank you.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining. Be sure to follow both me and Lab for more amazing content coming down the pipeline. Y'all have an amazing day. Remember to stream Beautiful Nightmare October 2nd, coming out on all platforms. I'm going to be there with my review right along. Thank you so much. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you on my next interview.
Josh.
Absolutely. Peace, guys.